Welcome everyone. I'm glad you're here today. We're about to explore a very interesting topic, Tafsir by companions. On this first slide, you'll see the title of our presentation. We'll briefly dive into what their interpretations mean and how they have influenced understanding. Over the next few slides, we'll look at some key examples and insights. Let's get started. Certainly, here is the word-by-word narrative script for slide 2. Due to the explanations of the Quran by the Prophet, the Sahaba, or companions of the Prophet, hardly differed in their tafsir of the Quran after the Prophet's death. This consistency could also be because, at that time, the Arabic language was purer than it was during the time of the Tabi'un, those who studied from the Sahaba, and onwards. The small differences in their tafsir are not contradictory, but rather variational differences. Variational differences mean explaining one idea using several different words. For example, Allah is called the most merciful, all-knowing, all-powerful, and many other names. These names all refer to Allah, though they describe different attributes of him. So if someone asks, who is the all-powerful? Or who is the all-knowing? The answer is always Allah. Despite the different words, they all refer to the same divine essence. This understanding helps us see how the Sahaba's tafsir maintained unity, while allowing for natural variations in language and expression. Today, I want to highlight some common differences in the tafsir of the Sahaba. These differences often arise from their unique perspectives and contexts, but what's interesting is that they share certain core principles. Another important point I'd like to emphasize is how they sometimes define a general term, an using specific examples or illustrations. This method helps clarify the meaning by relating it to real-life situations. For example, in the Quran, Allah mentions, "Then we cause to inherit the book those we have chosen of our servants, and among them is he who wrongs himself, and among them is he who is moderate, and among them is he who is foremost in good deeds by permission of Allah. That inheritance is what is the great bounty." Quran 35:32. Here, the terms, he who wrongs himself, the moderate, and the foremost in good deeds are broad, but we can understand them better through specific examples. For instance, the one who wrongs himself can refer to someone who delays their salah until the last moment. They're technically performing salah, but they're doing so at the very end, which shows a certain negligence. On the other hand, the moderate refers to those who pray within the designated time, not delaying unnecessarily, but also not rushing. This way of defining general concepts with concrete illustrations helps us understand the broader meanings more clearly and connects these descriptions to our daily practices. It's a powerful technique that makes the tafsir more relatable and easier to internalize, especially when studying the different perspectives of the Sahaba. Let's take a moment to reflect on the importance of good deeds, specifically prayer, and how it relates to our overall character. The slide mentions that those who pray at the recommended times are considered foremost in good deeds. This highlights the significance of punctuality and sincerity in our worship. Now, moving to the part about wealth, this helps us understand different levels of righteousness through a simple framework. Those who wrong themselves are involved in usury and neglect paying zakah, which is an obligatory charity. This behavior shows a lack of balance and neglect of social responsibility. On the other hand, those who are moderate are those who avoid usury and fulfill their zakah obligations. They strike a balance, fulfilling their duties without excess or deficiency. Finally, those who are foremost in good deeds are actually those who go beyond the minimum requirements. They pay more than what is obligatory in zakah. This shows an extra level of generosity and commitment to helping others. It's important to note that all these perspectives are correct because they serve as specific examples of a broader concept, the or general meaning. These examples help us understand the concept more easily, but they do not limit the to only these cases. So, in essence, whether you're performing prayer at the right time or going beyond your financial obligations, each of these actions reflects different levels of virtue. They all contribute to our overall spiritual development and help us move closer to the ideal of righteousness.